Getting a job in the UK in 2024? Tough. What if you need visa sponsorship? Tougher. What if you are somebody who has no experience? Extremely tough. But just like anything else that you encounter in your life, this is not an impossible task to do. And today I have a special guest who has done exactly that. She did not have education in the UK, she had no work experience when she applied for the job, and she's had visa sponsorship from day one of being in the UK. How did she do it? Let's find out. Hello and namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time around here, thank you so much for stopping by. I love creating content on going global, so it doesn't matter where you're from, what your homeland is, as long as you want to go global in your career, as long as you want to explore a different country, a different place altogether on this planet, then my channel on YouTube and my page on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn is all for you. So don't forget to subscribe and follow because all the info that you see here is absolutely free. And now let's talk about today's guest. So Ananya is somebody that I met a couple of years ago. She'd taken my first, I think, LinkedIn masterclass or UK masterclass. I don't remember. One of the masterclasses, she got a lot of input out of it. And she started looking for jobs as a complete fresher in the UK. She was based in India at that point, and she knew that she needed visa sponsorship from day one. With all the networking tips that we shared, with all the communication hacks that we shared in our masterclasses, she was able to use all of that and get herself this opportunity. And I know you'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so I'm not going to babble anymore. I'll take you straight to my interview with Ananya. All right, guys, so I have Ananya here with me. She's joining us straight from the UK. So I'm going to bounce off my very first question to you, Ananya. Do you think work experience is absolutely mandatory to get a job in the UK?
No, I don't think it's absolutely mandatory. It definitely helps if you have work experience. But when I was applying, I didn't really have any corporate experience. I just had a couple of internships, that too in months. But no, you do not need work experience if you want to move abroad.
So correct me if I'm wrong, you moved all the way from India to the UK on a sponsored visa, correct?
Yes, that is right.
Okay, first maybe introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and then what pathway did you really take to get to your current role?
So I work as an auditor at a consulting firm. I'm an audit associate with them. I did my ACCA qualification when I was studying in India. After I finished my qualification, I was obviously not a member. I just finished my exams. I applied online on their website and I put a lot of effort into understanding how the recruitment process works. And that is when I started giving my interviews. It obviously took me very long. It took about 10 months for my application to convert into an offer, but it was definitely worth it.
So how did it all begin? Like if somebody does not have experience, what should they do to secure a job in the UK?
There are obviously candidates in United Kingdom as well that do not have experience and start out as freshers. So there are job opportunities for freshers as well. There's this one program called the graduate program. They also run various programs called school leavers, graduates, placement years, etc., where you can apply as freshers. They do not judge you based on your experience, but instead they judge you for your character and how motivated and determined you are to work with them. I think that is pretty good if you want to start out as a fresher.
What should one do before applying for the job? What all did you do to make sure that you are ready to get the interview?
So to ensure that you get a job, firstly, you will have to assess if you stand well in the market. When I was starting, I did obviously take a course with Nidhi to understand the UK job market. And then I selected a few firms that I was interested towards. We always underestimate how much information a company's website holds. So when I started applying, I went to their website and researched on what skills they're looking for, what soft skills they're looking for, what hard skills they're looking for, what experience is required, read the job description. As individuals, we all do have experiences that the company requires.
Okay, and once you did that, how you applied for the job, was this the only interview opportunity that you got?
I actually did not apply to a lot of companies. I guess I just applied to one or two. I did try out this other alternative method where I connected to a lot of people on LinkedIn and spoke to them, built some connections, and then requested them if they could refer. But all I heard was, you're a fresher. I don't think there's opportunity for you. I think you should wait for a couple years. I think you should qualify as a member. But then I was very determined that I want to move. So yes, Grant Thornton is one of the two companies that I might have applied. In fact, I lost hope after everyone gave me that answer. So I started applying in India as well.
So after you applied, how long did it take to sort of get an interview back from them?
The graduate scheme actually has 6 rounds where they assess you. So as soon as I applied, filled the application on the website, I cleared the initial screening, and then I got a link for the behavioral round. And then there was another called the digital interview, wherein it's all AI based. They'll ask you questions. They give you 30 seconds to think, and then 2 minutes to answer. They'll record it all. After that, there's like a gap of like 2 to 3 weeks. They get back to you with a case study. You give the case study. Till that third round, it was pretty quick. But afterwards, it took me very long. I think about 5 to 6 months and a couple of normal feedback calls that I got to secure group discussion and a final interview. So I think 6 months down the line, I got my group discussion round. They actually deferred me from the intakes. They have like a September intake and Jan intake, just like colleges, because that is when students finish their graduation. So they deferred me a couple intakes. I finally had my group discussion in August and my final interview in September, and I got my offer in December, because obviously they had to sponsor the visa and they do take some time to get back to you.
And how long did this entire process take from you applying to getting the visa?
So I applied in March. I exactly remember the date. It was 11th of March when I applied. I just finished my UCCA exams. I was waiting for the result of my final paper.
Okay.
So I started applying for jobs then. And I got my offer on the 17th of December. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it was pretty quick. Meanwhile, I was working in another company in India. So I had to serve my notice period for 2 months and get everything in place. So
yeah.
it took almost a year from the application to moving here. I started in March and I moved here in April next year. So pretty long, but yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because most people, even in Globalogy, when we work with clients, they kind of get frustrated that it's not happening within a month. And now people who took our services in batch 1 and 2 have started moving, right? Like they started in May of last year, April endish. So now they are the ones getting jobs and moving. So people really underappreciate that it takes time. Everything takes time. I don't think it's possible to find a job within a month, even in your home country. Forget like doing this, across borders. Okay, another question that I want to ask you is, if somebody was starting today, what are the steps that you would recommend them to take? What programs to look for to do networking or to not do networking? Obviously you applied to 1 or 2 companies, and I'm so glad that it worked out for you. But did you like make a list of companies to apply for? What should somebody do today?
If I was starting today, again, from scratch, what I would do is keep my approach wherein I understand the job market and make a list of, I think 15 to 20 is a good number where you can focus. So 15 to 20 companies in your sector. Understand what you want to do. You can't be all over the place and shoot arrows everywhere. Select the companies I want to apply. Understand the roles I want to apply. I wanted to apply for audit. So that is where I was focused towards. Go to their website, go to their LinkedIn, understand what roles are open for freshers or what roles are open for experience. And then I think if we go to the LinkedIn page of those websites, we also know who are the recruiters. So I started following the recruiters on LinkedIn as well. So whenever they posted about a new opportunity, you get to know better on what they're looking for and how things work. Yeah. So that is the base I would keep. And when I started interviewing and my application started to clear, I connected with other associates of the role I was applying for. So they were working in the company back then. And I used to take advice on, okay, hi, how are you doing? I'm applying for this role and I have cleared this round. I'm starting to appear for the next round. What is your advice? And you won't believe, a lot of people get back to you with genuine advices. Like use this technique, use that technique, and it really helps. So networking is really, really important. Understanding what you want is really important. And then following up is something that I did that really helped. What happens is that you have to convey the thought to the recruiter that, yes, I know the role is not open right now, but in the future, when it opens up, I am interested. So just keep in touch with them so they remember that, you exist. It actually helps. So I think networking, following up, understanding what you want, and just sticking to it. Keep applying.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest thing, right? Like the consistency part. I have tried to explain this to so many clients because generally, when we work with Globalogy, within a month, most of our clients get interviews 1 to 3. And I tell them that this is not bad. Like you have to understand this is excellent, because sitting in one country and thinking of moving to another country and getting 1 to 3 interviews within a month is impressive. It means that you will make the cut You just have to keep the consistency going, and this process takes time. So I'm so glad that you sort of conveyed the same thing. The last question that I want to ask is there's a lot of negative thought about the UK. There's a lot of negative sentiment, say especially a lot of my own followers tell me that there aren't any jobs in the UK. That's not been my experience because I am still being able to work with a lot of international students in the UK. We're getting interviews. But I do want to know from you, ground reality. I don't think they're bad, but how bad are things in the UK?
I do have a couple of friends who managed to get the jobs, and I do have a couple of friends who didn't manage to get a job. The only thing that makes the ones different than who didn't get a job is the consistency and how focused they are into applying. The job market is not very bad. It is not very good as well. But I think that there are a lot of openings. I do get a lot of messages from recruiters on LinkedIn now that I hear that, okay, we have openings. So I guess there are a lot of openings. It's just that you have to learn how to apply, get that job.
Very true. Very true. I say the same thing about Canada as well, because a lot of people tell me that Toronto market is bad, and I'm like, it's not bad if you have the right network. Everybody knows this. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not in the market. I'm, fully running Globalogy. But even then, just yesterday, I had another person reach out to me. He reaches out to me every 3 months, and he was like, I hope the winter is treating you well, and do you think it's time to look for new opportunities? And I'm just like, Josh, I have left the job market. I was showing that to my husband, just trying to show that, people always say that the job market is bad, but, obviously it's not bad when you sort of have cracked the code and you have the right network and you know what works in which market. All right. So thank you so much, Ananya. This was amazing. Thanks for your time. And guys, if you have any questions for Ananya, please put them in the comment box. We will soon be launching a special mentor program with Ananya and many more people like her in the UK and different parts of the world. So all of that is coming to you from Globalogy. Ananya, first of all, I'm so glad that you took our masterclass. I'm glad that it worked out for you. I'm also happy to have this conversation with a real Globalogy alumni who's then going to be our brand ambassador in the UK very soon. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that everybody who's watching this video has enjoyed it. Any closing notes from you, Ananya?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I remember when I was applying for jobs, I used to drop you a message that this is what I'm doing, that is what I'm doing. You were there as a support back then as well, and it is lovely that I can now be a part of Globalogy and support your other child.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, if you have any questions for Ananya, comment box is yours. All right, so that's it. What an exciting, informative video this one has come out to be. If you'd like to see success stories like these of real people who've made it, let me know in the comment box below, and I'll make sure to cover more of these on my channel. And I hope you use the tips shared by Ananya to secure the next opportunity within UK. On that note, this amazing video has also come to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in another informative video where we'll travel the world together again. Until then, please make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.